Hello, back again. Conscious Conversations. Seth, Siyon. I want to start off by saying gratitude for everybody that's been basically commenting and also, you know, basically just showing love and just showing their appreciation for the content that I'm giving, the truth that I'm giving is well appreciated, well accepted, gratitude, and that's why I keep coming back and keep coming back because I got a lot of shit I need to talk about. You know what I'm saying? And I know it's a lot of shit that people need to hear too. You know what I'm saying? And I'm that person to give it to you, raw and uncut. So yeah, gratitude. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I like doing this conscious conversation because it's live, it's raw and uncut. You know, I just go off inspiration. I mean, I may have like a couple of topics to talk about, but it's not nothing that's scripted. It's not nothing that's written. It's just it's just inspiration. What comes to me, and that's like I feel like that's just more natural and more organic for people to relate to and understand, and also to receive at the same time. Like I said, it's not nothing scripted. And granted, like my podcast outside the box, which I'm gonna start that back, season 2, and then we're gonna start that off with talking about you know how I began that and my whole journey. So but even with that, that's more like it's 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 more other people involved, and it's broader views, which is a good thing too. You know what I'm saying? But um, this is just to me. This is just more like this is live. Like you know what I'm saying? I'm doing this shit live. It ain't. I'm not editing shit. I taking shit out. You know what I'm saying? So that's the difference with this versus the outside the box. Because the outside the box, I might edit some shit. You know what I'm saying? Because you never know what people might say. Well, you know what I'm saying? Because I try to keep it. I try to keep it where I don't. Even though my podcast is outside the box, I still try to be respectful to other people's beliefs and everything. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to like try to offend nobody, nothing like that. Um, and even doing this too, like this is raw and uncut. This is live, so I still. But at the end of the day, this is conscious conversation. So I tell people, if you in a box, this might not be for you. You know what I'm saying? So the shit I be talking about, you might not agree with it, you might not want to believe it, you might want to accept it, but like this is, like I said, this is for the collective. This is for those that have awakened. These are for the people that want the truth. These are for people that are tired of seeing this goddamn lies on all these social platforms. You know what I'm saying? Like some real shit, some real shit. You know what I'm saying? Also la say que pasa mi gente, estás bien, también. But wepa. But like I said, so if you watching this here, it's gonna be straight up, raw, uncut. Might not like a lot of shit that I say, cause it's gonna hurt. But it is what it is. That's what I'm here for. So with all that being said, we're gonna get into this thing. Conscious conversation with Seth Siyon. And also, and this is no clout, nowhere at all. But for real, make sure you share this shit with somebody. You know what I'm saying? Because I say that to say this, like, it's all about healing. I don't give a fuck about the goddamn clout or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. I don't be, this is not nothing that I'm looking to blow up off of. But what I'm saying to you is, I know a lot of people that see these episodes and be like, I need to share this with such and such, or I was telling my friend this the other day, or such and such need to see this. Share it, you know what I mean? Like, I'm telling you, just share it. Like, I'm not trying to hide none of this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want this shit I want for those who want to receive this. I want them to be able to receive it. So share it. You know what I mean? And you got my YouTube channel, Big Country Main NC. So yeah. All right. So let's get into it. And what's up, everybody that's in here? Let me be able to do that. Yeah. Okay. All right, so all right, so anyway, I ain't gonna even comment on that. But anyway, I mean, it is what it is. I work out, yes I do. I have long hair, yes I do. Okay, I look the way I do, yes I do. Gratitude, but I just look like this. Remember that. But anyway, I want to start off by saying like we need to learn how to embrace our feelings and emotions. What I mean by that is like if you feel a certain way, don't try to like brush it off. You know what I'm saying? When you frustrated, embrace that shit. When you angry, embrace that shit. When you're embarrassed, embrace that shit. So on, so on. And what I mean by that is when you embrace it, you basically analyzing what you were experiencing with them feelings and emotions. You have to analyze it. Okay, I feel this way. Next thing, why do I feel this way? So you reason your emotion, like why am I feeling this way? Then you have to understand your emotion and feeling. Okay, I feel this way because of and then you release it. I'm gonna get into this, but you release it in a healthy way. Give you an example. If you angry at something or at somebody, instead of like, cause see, let's think about it. When we initially have our emotions and feelings, we have the tendency to just like release it on the person or the thing that made us feel that way, and that's where we fuck up at. We human, we fuck up, but I'm trying to help people understand that you could do this other ways that are healthier for you and for yourself. When I say okay, when I say for you and I say yourself, meaning you, but for your spirit as well, because again, this is a bodysuit, but we all have souls, we all have spirits, you know what I'm saying? That's the source of who we are. So I say that to say this: if you are angry at something or somebody, go through these steps, analyze it, reason it, understand it, release it. Hope. So releasing it. If you have to like go in your room or in the bathroom or in your closet or wherever you get by yourself for a minute. Get there and just holler. Let it out. You gotta let that shit out. Cause what happens is people will harbor that shit, right? And they'll be like, all right, that's all right. I'll be all right. No, the fuck you ain't. Because I'm telling you, when that person or that thing come around and say the least slight thing that sets you off, they gonna get goddamn World War V. I promise you that. So you got to learn how to release that shit. You got to go through these steps. Like, you really got to go through these steps. You got to goddamn analyze that shit, reason it, understand it, and release it. If you frustrated, the same thing. It's the same thing. You know, if you have to invest in a boxing bag, get some boxing gloves, and if you just feel like just beating up something, like invest in shit that's gonna help you mentally and also physically. You know what I mean? That's a workout, to be honest with you. So we have to learn how to embrace our emotions and go through the necessary steps that we will be able to release it. So that way, when that person comes around, you be like, you know what? Thank you. Gratitude. Because you know what? I now understand myself better because of what you just did or what you just said. See, that's some societies, they don't want us to know this anyway, you know what I'm saying? Because they want us to be at war. They want us to be in division. They want us to always be in chaos. They don't want us to know ourselves, because if we know ourselves, they won't have the control that they have on us. I'm speaking gems here. So my thing is, Embrace your feelings and emotions. If you feel like crying, I promise you, crying is one of the most healthiest things that you can do. Is crying. But society, especially, and I'm gonna say especially for men, it's been like it's been frowned upon because like, oh, you been a little bitch, you a punk, don't be crying, you know, man. Man, I'm trying to tell you something. I grew up this same way, right? You know what I'm saying? But when my ass went to prison, man, you can't cry in prison because you ain't got no privacy, and then you can't come off like a bitch. You know what I'm saying? But my thing about it is, you had to make, like, I used to make time where I knew where I could be somewhere by myself to just cry. And I learned how precious that was to just cry when you need to cry. That's release. Ain't got nothing to do with no bitch or no punk or whatever. You soft and all that bullshit that they come up with ain't got shit to do with that. If you got to cry, goddamn it, cry. That's release. You got to release that shit. You can't hold that shit in. You can't hold none of this shit in. You gotta let this shit go. Also, leave that there. Also, learn how to go with learn to know how to go with your intuition and your gut, like your feeling. You know what I mean? People call it everything the spirit, the intuition, your gut, your whatever. You know what I mean? Learn how to go with that. But this is the thing about it. Learn how to follow it through patience, peace, and love. And I'm gonna explain this. So, when you know something's not right, I'm gonna go deep. I'm gonna give you an example. So if you're with somebody, it could be a friend, a companion, whatever. You know what I mean? If you're with somebody and you have a gut feeling like, something's just not right. It could be something they said. It could be the environment y'all in. It could be whatever. You know what I mean? So when I say go with it, what I'm saying is, like, you don't have to react at that moment. Because most of the time when you get intuition, it's more like, I want you to pay attention to this. I want you to be aware of this. You know what I'm saying? So it's not sometimes. I mean, but it could be different circumstances. So I'm gonna go both ways. So sometimes it could be that way for you to just be aware and alert, for you to know, like, okay, I'm not gonna put myself in this predicament no more, or I'm not gonna, whatever. And it's more just like it's just more of your higher self being like, you know what, this ain't for you. You need to switch it up. And there are also cases where you could be in a situation where it'd be like, get the fuck out, like, go, like, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Even then, learn how to be cool, collective, calm, patience, love, peace. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to. When I say this, like, overreact, like, sometimes you can overreact and it'll cause something to happen that wasn't necessarily supposed to happen. If that makes sense. So, when you are in a, like, situation like that where it's like, no, get out, go out now. Learn how to have patience, peace within yourself, and love. Situation where you somewhere where you don't want to be, and you just got this, it's on you so heavy that you just got to say something like, hey, look, man, I gotta go, man. I got. You can make up something. It don't matter. It's like, it's no rules to this shit. Figure out a way to get out of the situation, but do it in a calm, collective way. Instead of being like, oh, hell no, man, this shit, and then that shit gonna get them even more hyped to, like, you know what I'm saying, this gonna cause something that you might not, you know what I'm saying, want to be in. So again, just learn how to go with your intuition in a way that it's not in panic, being manic with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, just learn how to do it in patience, peace, and love. Because this is the thing about it. What is not meant to be will not be. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, there are spiritual forces that carry out things to make sure things doesn't happen for us. I think it's 2 Corinthians 4:17-18. The things that we see, they're not real. The things that we don't see, they are real. And I use that because, like I said, I can go into religion with you, and the truth is the truth. You know what I mean? So, but again, I know my audience. I know my So a lot of people are Christians, so I refer to the Bible a lot. You know what I'm saying? But I can go anywhere with it. But so yeah, so the things that we see is not real, but the things that we don't see are real. So there are forces that are going to act out like we all have we all have helpers, and we all have people that's supposed not people, I'm sorry, I'm tripping. We all have beings that help us, and we all have beings that are supposed to teach us and help us to evolve to who we're supposed to be. And those beings that are supposed to help us be who's supposed to be are the demons. You know what I'm saying? That's their job. So at the end of the day, we can't allow, anytime that you have anxiety, anytime that you have manic, frustration, anger, anxiety, I said anxiety, irritation, uh, bitterness, resentment, those coming from those forces or evil forces. And I don't like to call them evil, but they are evil forces, but they doing what they supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? And it's up to us to be able to understand that and to learn, learn with them, be able to coexist with them to learn. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, they doing what they supposed to do. Even when we do a job, it's people out here that doing jobs that they be like, I give you an example, like fast food restaurants, right? I done that, been there, done that. Like, if you work at a fast food restaurant and see the shit that they do, and the shit that they cover up, and they know it's not right, but that's your job, and that's how you get paid, right? It's the same difference, same difference. Cause I work at restaurants, flipping the burger, drop the goddamn meat on the goddamn floor. You better not throw that motherfucker in the trash can. You gonna get fired. Pick it, put it right back on the grill. You can have roaches, rats in that motherfucker. Then the one in the goddamn the bags of fries, whatever, you see holes all in it. You better not throw that shit away. So again, people do what they gotta do. Everybody has a job. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has a duty. And that's the demon's job. That's their duty. So at the end of the day, it's for our better, but going through it's not fun. You know what I'm saying? Because we get tormented. Because it's here. It's not physical, it's here. Which is worse. Because you can't leave that shit. You know what I'm saying? You got to. So yeah, I'm gonna leave that there. Because I got a lot more to talk about, and I'm going a little bit too much. Also, I want to talk about this here. Learn how to love. And I talked about this in previous episode about love, right? Because I don't think man, meaning human beings, really understand the definition of love. Because of how society has depicted it for us, and that's where everything like falls short right there. Because love is everything. It really is. The Creator's love. We are parcels of love. Love is everything. It wouldn't be no existence if it weren't for love, right? It has no boundaries. It has no limits. It's infinite. But society has put it in a goddamn like little small box. You know what I'm saying? So learn how to love without attachment. And let me explain this. Attachment meaning like you can't live without, you can't be without, you can't function without. That's attachment, because you attach to it to the point where wherever it goes, you goes. It's like it has control over you at this point. When you attach anything, it has control over you. You understand? And I know a lot. I know this is something that's never been probably taught or talked about, but that's why I'm here. So when you attach to anything, you're in control of wherever that attachment is. You go where it goes, whatever, whatever, whatever. It's like you no longer are living for you. You're living for it, or it or them. I'll say it like that. But understand this, man. Love is not possessive. It's not possessive. That's where that's where I'm about to speak some shit. It's not control. But society has depicted love as being possessive, ownership, and control. Meaning when you get married, you put that ring on the finger. Hey, I'm just speaking truth. If you offended by what I'm about to say, you might want to get off. Might want to get off. But I gotta speak this. So when you put them rings on your finger and say I do forever and ever and to death do us part, you have no more freedom. Your life is his life is your life. Granted, if that's what it is, hey, teach his own. I'm not condemning that. No, I'm not condemning that nowhere at all. My whole point to this is that's how society has depicted love, and that is a goddamn lie, and it's not right. Because at the end of the day, if you really love someone, first of all, let me backtrack a little bit. First of all, if you love someone, there has to be an alignment. It has to be an alignment, and I'm not talking about a physical alignment. I'm talking about a soul connection, spiritual alignment. Granted, I understand that we have physical attributes that we want. You know what I'm saying? That's fine. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that. And alignment goes along with the physical attributes as well, because if you're not attracted to somebody, you're not gonna love that person. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be attracted to the person. That's our human nature. You know what I'm saying? You have to be attracted. Second, you have to have that connection, alignment, and that's where I think it gets off track at, because most people go with the physical and they try to sweep up under the rug the connection. Like they might be like, well, we might not connect here, but maybe after a while we maybe after a while, if you ain't got no connection, listen, if you don't have no soul connection, spiritual connection, alignment, a soul alignment with that person, you gonna either, all right, it's gonna be two scenarios. Either it's not gonna work later on down the road, or you gonna be miserable for a long time. And I'm just keeping it real. You gonna be miserable for a long time. I say that to say this: when you love somebody, it's like when you love somebody, you should be like, you know what? It's not that you attached to them, but it's like this: I accept this person for who they are. For one, I want this person to live in their freedom. Number two, and I am like emotionally, spiritually, so connected with this person to the point where I feel, what's the word I'm looking for? I feel for one, I feel safe. I feel safe to be myself. I feel the genuineness, love. And when I say that, that's like genuine, like you genuinely like feel that love. It ain't got like they don't have to like do things or say things, even though everybody like wants some affirmations and some words, whatever, that say I love you or whatever, like I appreciate you. But that's a cherry on top. When you feel genuine love, it doesn't really matter. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't really matter. So how many people can say that they've been in relationships where they didn't need that, or say that it didn't matter? Not saying that you don't, not saying that you not supposed to have that. Not saying that. All I'm saying is it's not necessary. It's not necessary. But you gotta understand, man. Love is everything. Love is everything. And for everybody that's married, I've been married before, so I mean I can't sit up here and talk. But what I'm saying is I've learned a lot to understand like the whole concept of it. You get what I'm saying? And then I also understand the concept of the truth of it. So I'm not talking one sided. I've been there, done that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm on now. I'm on the truth, and the truth will always set you free. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it might not be no stuff you want to hear, but it is what it is. And for those that are married that are happy and feel the same way, hey man, I'm not saying it's not possible, but I also know that everybody's not the same. And I know everybody that's been brought up in this society. There are people out there that are comfortable in society. Cool, love, peace. And then there's some people be like, man, it's more to this shit, man. It's some bullshit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I ain't supposed to be living like this. Like, what? This shit don't make sense. Those are people I'm talking to right there. You know what I'm saying? If you're comfortable in this society, hey, I'm just speaking again. I'm just speaking for the collective. Those who are awakening, that's coming outside that matrix, that left the 3D. You know what I'm saying? Also, I want to say this here too. I think like two more points. And look here, if before I end, if anybody has something they want me to talk about real quick before I end, I have to do this. Put it on there right now, and I'll try to touch on it because I want to interact with all my audience. You know what I'm saying? Fluto, gratitude, my man, gratitude, oh, whatever. But yeah, so anyway, this is the next one I want to talk about. Then I'm gonna get out of here. You know what I'm saying? On to the next. So I know everybody here to turn doing to others as you want done unto you, right? You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna go a little deeper on this, right? So, say for instance, in your friendship or relationships, marriages, whatever, you have certain boundaries that you set. Which every we all have boundaries, right? There's certain things that we be like, all right, I don't want you doing this, or I'm not gonna. Listen, what I said. I won't. I said I want. I said I don't want you doing this, but this is what I'm talking about. I wouldn't like you doing this, but again, it's up to you. But I'm just letting you know, I won't like you doing this or such and such, or I would like you to do this. But society, that's why I had switched up. But society has trained us to be like, you can't do this, you better not do this. And wait a minute, when did I become a goddamn slave? Wait a minute, you know what I'm saying? I can't, I better. What the fuck? Like, okay. So again, that's my whole point. Like, learn how to communicate. Learn how to get your words in order. You know what I'm saying? First of all, that's a very aggressive tactic. That's when you saying that I won't and you better. But what you should do is say, I would like for this, I would like for that. It's your choice. I'm just letting you know that I don't like that, and I like this. You get what I'm saying? So, and there's the thing about this too, right? So when you do this, understand that that goes both ways. Okay. So if you don't like for this person to do this, but you do it, how's that right? Or if you like for a person to do this and you don't do it, you get where I'm going with this. It's a scripture, Amos 3:3. It says, "How can two walk together unless they agree?" If that ain't the most realest verse I ever heard in my life, how can two walk together unless they agreed? Meaning it has to be an agreement. Meaning that you can't say this and do this and expect that. How's that supposed to work? You know what I mean? Because if you say you don't like this, but you doing it, you contradicting. You contradicting yourself. You know what I'm saying? You contradicting yourself. And I've seen that, I've experienced it, and now also I've seen it in people that I know. When they come talk to me and stuff, I be like, they telling me things. I'm like, but at the end of the day, if you allow it, it's on you. It ain't on them. It ain't on them. It's on you. You have to be the one to voice that. You have to be the one to call that out. I mean, if you sit there and go with it, ain't their fault. It's your fault. That's all I'm saying. It's your fault. But yeah, so yeah, I'm about done, y'all. I ain't seen nobody put up nothing. So I'll be back again as always. Again, gratitude for everybody that has you know commented. Make sure you comment when I do post, when it does come on my YouTube. If you have anything else you want to add or you want me to talk about, comment on it. I also make sure if you haven't subscribed, subscribe, so that way when I do my lives, you'll get a alert, let you know that I'm doing a live. And I normally do them around this time, so whatever time zone you in, this will normally be the time where I do these lives. You know what I'm saying? So I try to catch it when everybody's like settled in, out of work, got the kids put to bed, and took their showers, ate, boom, 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 boom. So yeah. And also, man, shout out to the HRBs, my family. They here. Everybody been seeing them too. Don't act like y'all ain't been seeing them. And for those who don't know what I'm talking about, when I say the HRBs, society call them ETs, extraterrestrial, whatever, blah, blah, blah. They don't even know what the fuck that mean. But the HRBs are the higher realm beings. That's what they are. They are the higher realm beings. It's different levels to this shit. It's different levels to this shit. It's just a higher realm, that's all. But they here. And they've been showing themselves. So shout out to them. I've been seeing a lot of videos. People post them up too. You know what I'm saying? But they're my people. They're my people. Sorry. They're my family. They're my family. They're my family. Word up. So anyway, y'all. And I talk about that. Matter of fact, I talk about that this week. Yeah, we'll talk about that. I get on that this week. Hey, man. Love y'all. Peace. Salute.